some Whiteboard Wednesday action here on the show. This has been going on for 5 years. Let's do it. Our whiteboards are here. Peter Schrager is back. It is a party midweek here on GMFB. Yesterday, we had Hall of Famer Chris Carter on the program. He was incredible, so insightful, and tells it like it is, according to him. And he made the case for he and Randy Moss is the best wide receiver duo of all time. It's been debated a little recently in the offseason. I'd like to know the most underrated wide receiver duo of all time, according to you three.
All right, I'll go with a couple of guys that I had witness to watch, and also one of them I actually played with in Seattle. How about Ocho Cinco and TJ? Who's your mama?
You gotta have him on there now.
Lock it up. Championship. Listen, if you weren't paying attention to these guys when they were cooking and they were at the peak of their game, Tad Johnson was doing his thing, had the best celebrations, was even rocking a homemade Hall of Fame jacket, and TJ was unstoppable. Big receiver, they put him in the slot, one of the freshest route runners in the business, and was just quiet. Even though he's not necessarily a quiet dude on the field, when you get to know him, you realize that this was a duo they should have actually kept around for quite some time. I was upset when they broke up because Carson Palmer, TJ, and Chad, they were just something different. So shout out to those two dudes. One of the best of their era, truly.
That was an awesome duo. I'm going to go with one from a little earlier, Rod Smith and Ed McCaffrey. You never hear them mentioned. They played right in that sweet spot with Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, and then, of course, with Carter and Moss doing what they're doing. These are the guys that were winning the Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls together, of course, with John Elway throwing them passes in the orange jerseys, and then they made the transition to the blue jerseys where they would win those Lombardis. Ed McCaffrey is Christian McCaffrey's father. You don't see a lot of footage of him in NFL films. You don't see many tributes to him. One of the toughest, fastest wide receivers.
No doubt about
87 there. And then Rod Smith was one of these classic undrafted stories who was the guy in Denver for more than a decade. I could watch their highlights. Shannon Sharp in the middle at tight end, and of course John Elway slinging the rock, and Terrell Davis. Underrated duo. You never hear Rod and Ed mentioned, and yet in that era with all these great wide receiver duos, they were the ones winning Lombardis.
The time Ed blocked that guy and pointed at him, I mean, it was goosebumps. Super Bowls, legends, everything. I got none of that. But for one hot minute, you could not do better than these two guys. In 2013, Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey lit the world on fire with a Jay Cutler Bears offense. Both of these dudes had 1,000 yards. They combined for 18 touchdowns. Cutler gets hurt. Josh McCown comes in and does not miss a beat. Meanwhile, you've got Marty B putting up big numbers, Matt Forte, and I'm telling you, Alshon and Brandon Marshall's careers, diverted wildly after this point. But this was like the greatest show on turf in Soldier Field for 1 year in 2013. And you thought maybe they could win something this year. But, Rodgers, as always, ruins everything. So this is the thing. I love these guys wherever they are. Alshon wanted to win a Super Bowl, and Marshall's in media. But that 2013 year was scintillating. I haven't forgotten it.
I love that team.
Yeah, it's fun.
2013 Bears squad. Okay, you guys can play along at GMFB. At the Hall of Fame enshrinement this year, get this. Speeches are being capped at 8 minutes because there are some extra inductees. I'd love your thoughts on this, of course. And you missed it, Triggs. The president and CEO of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, David Baker, was on our show saying he's going to tackle people on their way out if they try to go over these 8 minutes. There's like a shepherd's hook. I mean, he's a big guy. He could do some damage. I want to know the Hall of Fame enshrinee who you do want to push it and go over the 8-minute limit this year. Who's that, Nate?
All right, I'll jump right in with the guy who every time I see him, I just want to laugh and smile. But his career was no laughing matter. Going with Peyton Manning. And listen, you're going to get the happy and the sad. Because I guarantee he's going to cry. He's going to get choked up. He is an emotional dude. But if you've seen him in his commercials, you've seen him in any of the shows he's been a part of, and if you've seen him on SNL, you know that this dude is hilarious. So I want him to get up there and give us everything, the full range of emotions, from happy to sad and everything in between. And go ahead and take as long as you want. I don't want the Omaha 2-minute drill. And go over it. And David Baker's not going to tackle you. You're Peyton Manning.
Do you think they're going to bring up the music on Peyton Manning?
No.
I don't think so either.
Not at all.
They let him go. Maybe the greatest storyteller of just absurd tales that you would never imagine intersecting that I've ever met is Jimmy Johnson. And to give Jimmy just 8 minutes is almost a crime here. You got to give Jimmy 8 hours. I was with Jimmy this past weekend. He starts telling me a story about how he met Worldwide West when Worldwide West was 18 years old. And Worldwide West. He was on Worldwide West was then on the sidelines when Jimmy wins a Super Bowl because Worldwide West used to help recruit at the U. And then you turn it all together, and now Michael Jordan and Jimmy go fishing because Worldwide West is the connection. Like, and Jay-Z and Jimmy are tight. Like, the Jimmy Johnson stories he is like the Kevin Bacon of pop culture, NFL, everything. 2 Super Bowls with the Cowboys, of course, goes to Fox, returns with the Dolphins, never had a losing season with the Dolphins. I would love to hear Jimmy talk more than 8 minutes. And if the Cowboys are watching, let's put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor as well while we're at it here. It's a great omission that he's not up there. If anyone in the Cowboys organization wants to do that, he's a Hall of Fame winner now as well.
That's great. I feel like he's going to go up there with like a rod and a beer. Like, I just feel like
I just want stories.
I know. And just those fishing stories can take forever, Jimmy. All right, so here's my answer. Isaac Bruce.
Okay.
And there's a couple of reasons why. If you did not see the program yesterday, you missed an amazing moment in which current Hall of Famer Chris Carter was asked about Isaac, and Isaac said that he and Torrey are the best duo ever at wide receivers, and specifically called out Randy Moss and Chris Carter as not being up to their speed because they don't have a Super Bowl. Well, yesterday, Chris Carter responded to that.
I don't know who Isaac thinks he was better than. That he thinks he was better than me, or he thinks Torrey was better than me, because we know neither one of them were better than Randy Moss.
All right, so that is a tiny little snippet, and it went on, and Chris was really good. If we know Isaac, like, Isaac might take the entire 8 minutes plus just addressing Chris Carter.
Okay.
Like, never mind my career and the Rams and Dick Vermeil and Kurt Warner. No, I'm going to just go, I'm going to take the script and drop it. Chris, like, he has very strong feelings about his career, his slights, his doubters, so I think he's got to handle that. And also, guys, let's not forget that Isaac Bruce's biggest conviction about getting in the Hall of Fame was how long he had to wait.
Oh, yeah.
True. So much so that when David Baker knocked on his hotel room door, he gathered his family around to make Mr. Baker knock another time so he could feel what it was like to wait. So are you telling me that Isaac Bruce was going to be put on a clock again?
No.
No. He will go until Isaac is done. I think this is and I want to hear every word of it. Isaac might go a half hour. That's it. Bruce, my man.
It's my favorite David Baker story, him making him wait.
Incredible.
It's absolutely incredible.
Because I waited. You waited.
Strikes, is there any way anybody just goes to 8 minutes?
No, this thing is going to be still
like
going
a joke,
next
right?
Thursday. Yeah.
It's like when they tell us to wrap in 10 minutes. It is, we're not going to, not going to happen. 35 years ago this week, guys, Glory of Love by Peter Cetera off of the, why not, off of the Karate Kid 2 soundtrack. Not Karate Kid 2 soundtrack. It reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The best song on a sports movie soundtrack this is one of my fave questions ever.
Yeah, I'll take you back to the 90s, a movie that had some absolute superstars.
What do you got,
in it. Tupac, rest in peace, Bernie Mac, Dwayne Martin, Wood Harris, Marlon Wayans.
Go on, Nick.
Regulate. Above the rim, okay? Regulate. Listen, that's an absolute classic. Anytime you hear it, you get hype. But more importantly, this movie was fire. It just explored the street ball culture, and Tupac was Birdie. So yeah, I love this song, and I think this is the best song in a sports soundtrack.
It's amazing.
Peter, before you put yours up, can I call my shot on what you're going to say?
Yeah.
I think I know what Peter's going to say. And I was thinking it might be This Used to Be My Playground by Madonna.
Of course.
However, watch. I think, Peter, and I'm taking a shot.
Okay.
I think you were going to go Karate Kid 1, and I think you're going to put up Joe Esposito. That is my blind call.
Okay.
Peter, prove me right.
What's it called? The Newlywed Game?
Yeah!
We're the best around.
Oh, that's so good, Peter.
You're the best. Okay, I love Cetera. I love Chicago. I love everything about the Glory of Love.
Keep talking.
I am a man who will fight for your honor. I get it, but this is the Karate Kid song. That is Karate Kid 2, to your point, Kay. I'm talking about Joe Esposito. You're the best around. And when he does the crane kick, if you're not crying and running around your house doing crane kicks yourself, you're missing something. You're the best. It's
amazing.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Johnny Lawrence comes back at the end and says, "You're all right, LaRusso," and the character arc is complete.
Yours is from the, I'm going to guess, yours is from the Rudy soundtrack or something, right?
No, Peter, I don't like the dismissive tone you use. All right. So there's about 5 songs you could use from the Rocky Empire. Whatever it may be, There's No Easy Way Out, which is incredible. And, of course, Eye of the Tiger, Gonna Fly Now. This is the name of the song. Training my...
So good. Rocky IV.
It's just there's two. One of them is Hearts on Fire for the first montage. Then he talks to Adrian for a few
Driving
minutes.
in the car.
Yeah. No, well that's a no easy way out with an angry gear shift. I'm talking about the purely instrumental training montage whereby he is sledding, chopping,
What's Drago
running.
doing?
Drago's just roiding and like scoring. He's like playing like some sort of video game, and at the end, Drago! Training montage, that's the number one. Oh my God.
Is the training montage on your workout plan?
Yes, Adams, I'm not even making that up.
No, I know.
If you got to get like that last half mile and you're cramping up and you're old and you're fat and everything, beep, 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 you just pick it right up and like Drago running up that.
I got chills.
It's the best training.
What was that video game? He punches hard and then like the meters go.
Well,